Hey guys, I'm Vanessa and I'm here to inspire you to live a happy, healthy, as much of a carefree lifestyle as you can whenever you are living with type 1 diabetes, which unfortunately has no cure, and it's not easy. And anyone who says it's really easy and that they have perfect blood sugars, they're lying because it's not. No matter what you do, you can do all the right things and eat all the right things and follow all of the rules. And unfortunately, you're still gonna have those days where just no matter what you do, makes things go crazy and your blood sugars are off the charts, and it's just the unfortunate side of it. But you just have to always try to keep going and pushing through, and hopefully this inspires you with my outlook on my diabetes. It inspires you to hopefully feel the same and try and have a good outlook about it. So guys, let's go, let's get started. So today we are going to be talking about something that's near and dear to my heart, and probably to some of you as well, especially those of you who are maybe thinking about an insulin pump. The T Slim is the one we're going to be talking about, and I love it so much. I've been on this one since September of 2014, and before that for about 13 years I was on a Medtronic pump and went through lots of different upgrades and things with them. T Slim is where it's at. This is what all the cool kids have, okay? Insulin pumps are just awesome to begin with. No matter what insulin pump you have, it really kind of makes us diabetics feel like we can eat whatever we want to, whenever we want to, and we can maybe drink something that we wouldn't have been normally able to drink. It makes me feel like I don't even have diabetes half the time because of the fact that I can pretty much do what I want when I want, even though doctors probably don't want to hear that. So we're gonna go just do a review of the T Slim today. Sorry, it's beeping at me. We're gonna do a review of it. We're gonna talk about how to fill this, because this is a little different than some of the other insulin pumps out there about how you fill. We're gonna show how it's inserted with the insets that I have, and just an overall review of all the cool features of it. So here we go. First of all, look how little this guy is. It's so small. And I had the big Medtronic pump, the 715 version, because I use so much insulin. And this holds the same amount. It holds 300 units at full capacity, and it's so small. They say it actually fits into the coin pocket of jeans, but my jeans are too tight to test that theory. But we're gonna go ahead and start a fill because I am on E right now. So what you need to do is you need to go into your options menu, and then you're gonna say load and change cartridge. So it's right here asking to make sure that you're disconnected from the pump, you know, yada yada, same thing. We know we don't want to accidentally inject any insulin. So right now it's getting ready to prepare to tell me to take this one off, and then we're going to be putting a brand new cartridge on there. So it's saying remove the cartridge and install an unused cartridge, press the unlock button when completed. So it comes with this fancy little key, and if you happen to lose this, they give you like 2 of them, but if you lose it, a coin or something like that, anything thin will work just the same. So right on the back, what's interesting about this pump is this whole piece that looks like it's part of the pump is actually disposable. This is what holds the insulin, and this gets thrown away every time you want to, you know, load a new cartridge and give yourself, load yourself up with new insulin. So that pops right off with this little key or coin or whatever. Just comes off just like that. I'm gonna go ahead and open up a new one. You want to have good practices from the start, so make sure your hands are clean. I washed mine before I started this. So we have a new one on. As you can see, it looks like it's all, you know, part of the pump again. That's the cartridge. So we're going to go ahead and unlock. So we have the new cartridge installed. We unlocked, and it says press next to continue. And now what it's doing is just kind of getting the cartridge ready to take the insulin. I guess it's getting all the air and things like that pushed out of it. So that's a little bit of a process. It takes 30 seconds or so, sometimes less. Yep, removing air from cartridge, it says. Makes a lot of fun sounds, like little winding sounds. It's all normal. And then it says to fill the cartridge and press unlock button when completed. This is a little bit different, where it actually has a little stopper here that you actually inject the insulin into from a separate syringe because this is kind of a bag style reservoir. One thing I'm gonna show you, and again, even though I'm a nurse in real life, no doctor, and I'm not a representative of Tandem or anything, but what I will tell you is I take out all the rest of the insulin that might be left in here, so I'm not wasting any. And that's something that I don't know if people would actually recommend that you do, but I'm just telling you I do it. I've never had any problems. I've also never had any occlusions or any other issues. These come in 2 pieces, both singly wrapped, and you go ahead and get your syringe ready. And how I withdraw from this, from the old cartridge, the stuff that's all getting thrown away, is I just put it basically into the stopper of the old one, and then I pull back. And as you can see, it actually has pulled out several units of insulin. I usually take it out once, put it back in, usually can get a few drops more. And then I come over here once again. You decide yourself if you want to do this. Pull it out of there, and then I take this and I pull that insulin out. Now it's all garbage. And there we go. I have almost a half of a milliliter of insulin that I just pulled out of what I was gonna throw away. So to me, that's money right there. And that's liquid gold for us type 1 diabetics. We need this stuff to live, so. All right, so now we're gonna finish filling it. Depending on how much insulin you use, you can either fill it all the way and just change out your set. They recommend that you change your infusion set at least once every 3 days. I usually go about every 2 days. But if you want to fill up the full 300 units of insulin in the pump, but you know you're not going to use that within 2 to 3 days, I think some people will actually just keep changing out just their actual cannula, their infusion set, the cannula part, and leave the tubing and everything together. And then they just fill the cannula so that they can keep using the insulin in there until it's gone and don't have to use so many reservoirs and go through so many full changes. So I have a complete fill here. Looks like I didn't really get any air bubbles. So usually I would have just injected it, but because I'm showing you how to do this, I'm gonna pull this back up. So it logged you out. All you gotta do is with the touchscreen 1, 2, 3 to get back into exactly where we were before. It's just saying that the cartridge loading process had not been completed, which yes, we know that. So now it's right back to where it was. Fill the cartridge and then press unlock when completed. So again, it has this little white stopper here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our syringe that's full of our insulin, however much you decide to put in. It goes right down until you feel resistance and you can't press anymore. And then we're just gonna slowly push it down in. You might hear a couple creaks, a couple weird pops as it goes in, but it's okay. And then as soon as it's in, don't let your thumb off the plunger. Once it's all in, just pull back. And then this is garbage. And what I usually do, and I'll show you this later on, is I just unscrew the needle part, even though this wasn't inside of your body and really it's not contaminated in any way. I put it inside of the self-contained sharps container for the inset that I use. So now we're ready to move on here. So we're gonna press the unlock button and press next to continue. And it says cartridges changed. So now it's telling us to make sure the set is disconnected from your body and securely connect the tubing to your cartridge. Press next to fill your tubing with insulin. First of all, look at how fun these are. I use the inset. This is actually an Animus thing. The thing is with the T-Slim, it's a lure lock. So really they're interchangeable with any other insulin pump that uses a lure lock. These have the 2 pieces. The cartridge connects to the tubing with that little lock. I have personally had no problems with the lure lock connection at all. These come in such fun colors, but I think I'm feeling kind of pink today. But for you gentlemen out there, you do have some boys colors, and it also comes in like a gray, clear. That one's boring, I think, but. So this right here, this is kind of cool because it's a self-contained inserter It's a self-contained sharps box, and everything is all wound up here. This is similar to, I believe, the Mios that Medtronic has if you're currently on a Medtronic pump and considering switching. This is all wound up. So the tubing just kind of gets unwound. And has a little divot there to kind of keep it in for whenever you do the injection. There's a couple different divots, but I'll find that one right there in the front. And we have the tape around it and then the little plastic thing covering the needle. But I'm gonna go ahead and do a high abdominal setting here, up in here, and this, anywhere you can pinch an inch. You know, a lot of times I use my sides, I use my thighs, use my lower back, top of my butt, anything like that, anywhere where you can pinch a little bit of flub. Some people use their arms. I'm not a big fan of the arms because, first of all, I have a Dexcom, which is for another video. I have a Dexcom that I usually wear in my arms, but I'm not a big fan of the tubing coming down my sleeve and so on. So I always kind of stick to my belly, thighs, butt area for this. So I'm gonna be doing up here. I have enough chub to pinch, and it's never been an issue. I don't feel it poking me or anything like that. So I'm gonna get it ready here with the IV prep. And while it's drying, I'm just gonna finish prepping this. So I'm taking off the cover on the tape. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this little blue plastic thing that's just kind of a needle protector. So here we are. Now I bet you're wondering, do I have to take this and jab myself with it? No, what's awesome about these, like I said, is it's all a self-contained everything. Each of these all have their own inserter, all right in one, so you just throw it away when you're done. So all we do, because this is an area that doesn't have as much subcutaneous tissue as some other areas on my body, I do pinch up a little bit here, have the tubing pulled back, put it up against my body, and then there's little divots on the side that you're just gonna squeeze and it just shoots right in. So if you wanna do a countdown, you can. Otherwise, just go with it. 1, 2, 3. And that's all there is to it. I always give it a little tap here just to make sure that it went all the way in. Pull out. All right, so there we have it. It is all inserted. And I'm sorry. How awesome is that it's pink? Maybe that's weird, but as a nearly 30-year-old woman, I'm this excited about it being pink, but I don't care. It's awesome. I love it. So we have this all ready to go. We put the needle part of the syringe that filled the insulin in here, all self-contained. This can go right in the trash. Now what we're gonna be doing is we are going to be attaching these two pieces, the lower lock, and we're gonna start to do the prime for the tubing. So whenever you screw these together, make sure they're really tight, and there's not gonna be any reason to unattach from here for the length of life that you're using this tubing. Anytime you wanna disconnect from the pump, you're always gonna disconnect from here, never from here, or taking that off until you're ready to change it again. So it keeps beeping at me because it wants me to finish. So it says fill tubing alert, we are not completed. Now it's asking to make sure that we're disconnected, which we are. We're not connected to our body right now. So this is how I was trained to fill this. And like I said, I've had no issues at all. And what I do is I sit, and some people maybe might be annoyed by this because it is a little bit longer of a process than some of the other pumps, but I just kind of sit like this. If I wasn't showing this right now, I would actually probably have this just down in between my legs and then just hold the tubing up. But on average, it takes up to about 16 units of insulin to get all the way through this. So once again, by holding this upright and then just holding up the lower lock so that it's sitting vertical like this and not just laying down on the table, this is the way I have had absolutely no issues in the last, 3, 4, 5, almost 5 months. So about 6.5 units now. So really it doesn't take all that long to go through its little thing. And if you want to hold out the tubing, you can actually see it moving through once it gets to a certain point. Sometimes it'll stop for a second, just like it did there, but it keeps going. And I want to just kind of keep an eye on the end. to see your drops coming out. I can see the insulin moving through. It's actually pretty close to the top now. We're at 9.5 units. This is kind of a deal breaker for some people, the length of time it takes to prime this pump. And again, keep in mind, this video is only as long as it is because I talk too much. So just know that on a normal change, it really doesn't take very long at all. The longest part is this right here, just waiting for the insulin to get through. And to me, it's worth it to have a little bit, you know, a few extra minutes longer than what some of the other pumps take to prime, just because of the fact that the T-Slim is just, like I said, too freaking awesome. We're on 15 units now. It says 14.9, 15.6, and like clockwork, I'm at 16, and there's my drop. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the stop button, and it says stopping fill because we know it's at the end. All right, it just tells you if you see drops at the end of the tubing, press done. If not, keep going. We saw the drops, so we're done. And it gives you a little check off here. So right now it's saying change cartridge, check mark. Fill tubing, check mark. And now it's saying fill cannula. So I'm gonna go ahead and reconnect. And then we're going to touch the fill cannula and next and start. And then it's gonna go ahead and fill our cannula so that now the insulin is all the way to the end of the cannula that's under your skin. And that literally only takes a second because it's only 0.4 units for the set that I use. All right, so we're done. So we're gonna say done. And it tells you to test your blood sugar 1 to 2 hours. Resume insulin now. It's asking, are you done? You wanna get your insulin restarted? We're gonna say resume. Resuming insulin, and we are good to go. Now it is officially back in business. We can go ahead and have our candy bar or whatever else strikes your desire. This right here is one of the cases that I was showing earlier. It just snaps on like that. And I should have done this piece before, but I was too excited to show you the fill cannula. This piece just goes on like that. And then they just snap together. Just like that. I'm using 2 different colored ones just because I think it's more fun that way. You can mix and match and have fun with it. So we're gonna go ahead and do a little review now. I'm gonna show you a few other fancy things about the T-Slim, and I'm gonna pull my shirt down so you don't have to look at my belly anymore. But again, pink. And these ones are the same way with green and blue, just like that. So cool. So just to go over a few of the, what I think are the coolest features about the T-Slim. First of all, this is the only pump on the market as of right now that is all touchscreen. And to me, you know, the constant scrolling and things like that go along with some of the other pumps where you have to like go through, you know, pressing buttons up and down to get to the exact amount of insulin you want. Whereas this is just like a phone where you just dial in numbers. So if we're gonna give ourselves a bolus, we're gonna go in and let's just say I ate 15 grams of something. I'm gonna go into, it asks for grams or blood glucose. We're gonna go to grams and we're gonna say 15, done. Calculates how much insulin I'm gonna get for those 15 grams. So in my case, I would be getting 3.75 units of insulin. And this also has micro dosing, so it has like, you know, much littler doses and it kind of trickles in, I think, at a slower rate from what I understand and what I've read. So what you would do, it says 15 grams, gives you your calculation, next, confirm, yes, and then we'd hit deliver and then it's in. For a blood sugar, let's say that our sugar was also like 250 along with those 15 grams. We're gonna add a sugar, 250, done. How easy is that? You know, some of those scrolling pumps, you have to literally sit there and press until you get to 250 and then go back down until you get back to 250 because you scrolled too fast. And so now it has my new calculation, 8.3 units for my 15 grams and my 250 blood sugar right there. It has the full calculation all right there, all together, one screen, no scrolling back and forth, nothing like that. It's pretty awesome. Another really awesome thing about this pump is that it's rechargeable, so you're not wasting all those batteries. It comes with its own little power cord. You can even charge it while you're driving. You can plug it into your USB adapter in your car. Let's say we're doing something and we need to get back to the home screen, I hit back, but there's another way to do it. You can always just tap that T right there, and that always takes you back to your home screen. No matter where you are, if you're in options and you're in my pump and you're doing something, back to the home screen. Because of the touch screen and because of the type of technology they use, this maybe for some people isn't gonna be something you care about, but once again, I must be like a child. You can go into my pump and you can actually have personal profiles and name your pump different things. So if you want to name it fun things, you can. I just have Vanessa's T Slim. That's what I put mine as, but you can name it fun things. You can name different profiles. So if you have like an exercise profile for your basal rates, if you have something that you use whenever you are sick, you can have that in here and you can call it sick, you know, sick days or exercise, things like that. There's also the insulin on board down here, which I hear is a feature that some of the other insulin pumps have. Medtronic did not have this, but this has a running total of all the insulin that is active that you have still in your body right now, which is really awesome. And it actually won't let you give yourself insulin if you have too much, and it considers that you're probably gonna go low from it. Lots of other cool features about this pump, but that's all I'm gonna go over with you for today. Again, I can't say enough good things about the T Slim. I find it to be a really awesome pump, and maybe this isn't something that really matters to everybody, but I think it looks really cool. The touchscreen, the way it looks, the different accessories that you can get for it, and they also did start making some skins for this, so that you can actually have around here and then over here in this black space around the home button. They've made some fun little things that you can get for that. Tally Gear, they have all these different fun cases that you can use for your Dexcom, but also for your different insulin pumps, and that's for any pump that you want to use. They have little belts you can wear around your waist that carry both. They have little pouches that kind of clip onto your belt loops. All right, guys, so that is it for the T Slim review. I hope you learned a little bit about it and you saw that the actual change out of a cartridge really isn't all that bad. And it's really not that much more intense than any other pump. Might take a few more minutes, but once again, when you're dealing with something that looks this cool, has a touch screen, and is so small and cute, you gotta kind of pick your battles. This is all day, every day, 24/7. Maybe unhook to shower, or maybe if it's, you know, summertime and you're out by the pool, you can unhook for a little bit to do that. Otherwise, this is always on you, and you gotta, if it's something that you're going to wear all the time, might as well be something that you really love and you're really happy to wear. And for me, that's the way I am with this. I'm proud to be a T Slim wearer. I love it and can't say enough good things about it. So hopefully this helped you make your decision to make the switch, or to just look into it a little more to see if it's something maybe in the future. For those of you people still on multiple daily injections, maybe you're considering coming over to the dark side with the pumps. And I highly recommend this one for you. I think you'll love it. All right, guys, thanks so much. Have a good one.